Welcome back to Sutton Bourbon and Smoke, and today we are coming to you live. This is the first video after our trip to Kentucky.
Heck yeah, heck yeah, what a time.
We got a series of videos coming up. We're going to go through all the tours, all the really cool things that we did, all the people we got to meet, all the bourbon we got to taste. And today we are starting out with Michter's, our first stop on our trip. Well, first
abbreviated
yeah. First stop. We did make a beeline on the way up there.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in just a little bit. This was our first stop of the tour, really, in earnest, and we're just going to go through a little bit about what we did there, what the tour was like, what we liked about it, some of the tastings we did, and just kind of give you an idea of things you might want to do on your trip up there if you want to stop by.
Yeah, for sure. So Michter's was our first stop. Wasn't officially on the tour or on our list to go. We were planning on leaving here about 4 a.m. so we could get there at noon.
Yep.
To make it and have plenty of time to get checked in before our Peerless tour. And then Kelly, you booked this last minute.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I read a lot of things about the Mitcher tour that was so good, and they had a noon opening. So
yeah,
and that was
threw
the
in.
Founders tour.
Now, the Founders tour at Fort Nelson, yes.
Yeah, because that's not offered all the time. That's a
Twice
little
a
bit
week.
exclusive.
Yeah. So it's at Fort Nelson, which is the one in downtown Louisville.
Yep.
And it's offered just a couple times a week. And again, you got the tour and 7 tastings. So
yeah, for sure.
Good
for sure.
deal.
Well, hey, while we're talking about this, I'm going to pop open this allocated bottle that we've got over there and taste of it. But this is the toasted barrel finish sour mash whiskey. So let you know what we think along the way.
Yeah. Now that tour got scheduled there kind of last minute, so
it's great.
we tried to bump our leaving time up to 3:30, but it still ended up being 4 o'clock. And we were booking it up there, and but the whole time we knew we were going to be passing a couple other places. We might want to stop in, pick up some bottles, some places that do special releases every day. One of those being Buffalo Trace. So we were just scrolling, refreshing the website, and then finally we saw, all right, the drop today is E.H.
Taylor. Yeah.
And we are some suckers for that, so we made just a very quick detour over to Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
About, what did you say, 10:30 or so?
10:30 is when we got there.
Walked straight in.
Yeah.
No line. Plenty of bottles on the shelf.
Right.
Grabbed our bottles. And,
Man, we were in and out in 20 minutes.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Man, what was crazy about this, though, is, we did it again, same as last year, right? Like, we ended up stopping at Buffalo Trace on the way up because you have to pass, well, at least the way we're going anyway.
Yeah.
We passed Frankfurt on the way to Louisville, so... But our estimated arrival time for our noon tour and tasting was 11:40.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Absolutely.
So I had to make up a little time on the drive up there to get us to stop in Frankfurt and then make our tour and tasting. But
which is fine, because Kentucky seems like a lawless state as far as traffic
it was wild.
go.
It was wild. I mean, it didn't matter if it was construction zone or not. I mean, people were just flying up there. Booking it. But hey, so the tour, super interactive, right?
Yeah.
There's quite a few videos, and we're going to be posting those throughout this video, so you'll get to see everything. But started us off with a video from the master distiller, telling us about like a little of the history.
Yeah.
Or was it the founder? I don't know.
I think it's current. I think it might honestly be current president and CEO.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay. Yes.
Just giving us a little bit of the history of the Fort Nelson site, and then their other sites. They got 3 locations around Kentucky where they house most of their warehouses. The Fort Nelson site, really historic, right there downtown Louisville, across from the Louisville Slugger Museum.
That's right.
But it's a smaller location. They don't have quite as many barrels there. They're not doing the output that like their major warehouses and distilling plants are. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that video was right there. They start you in the gift shop, and then they move into where they do like the actual distilling.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, particularly great tour. While we're in the middle of the heat wave, so we're up there. It was mid-90s. So again, it's all inside. Particularly if you have limited capacity to be able to walk and stuff. I mean, it was all in. I mean, there really wasn't walking, right? You kind of went in the warehouse and you were right around all the stages. So again, from that point of view, that part was really good. But yeah, very interactive as far as being able to, the barrels of the mash were open. We got
Yeah,
to look
for
at
sure.
the different
For sure.
stages of the mash.
They passed around the limestone, we can look at that.
Yeah.
That's their water source, right?
Yep.
And their 3 grains got they passed around the barley, the corn,
Yep.
the rice spice and everything, so you get to like smell it and like see what that actually looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Man, we actually got to eat some of the.
God, what was that?
It's not distiller's wine. It's before that step.
The beer.
Yes, distiller's beer.
Yeah.
Distiller's beer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they gave us a little shot glass of it. Got to taste it. Kind of
Yeah.
chew on it. Kind of tastes like a little bit like ground up oatmeal. It was
Yeah.
cold, but it was interesting
For sure.
flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, something you don't really ever get to taste like that. So that was neat.
And honestly, it was the only thing that I had eaten up until that point.
Yeah.
So.
I had a 6-inch sub right before there to suck my life.
And one of the distillers did the touring, right? He's gone to school for this.
Yeah.
So it did get a lot on the scientific side. But I thought that was interesting, right? I mean, he really got into the details of the science behind it, which was
for
really
sure.
good to hear. I mean, again, when you go to the Bourbon Trail, in my opinion, you don't want to do that with every distillery you go to, right? You kind of pick one, hey, let's go through the details there.
Right.
And again, from what I'd read, this was a good one. And like I said, I think we learned a lot from the tour.
Yeah, you could tell that the distiller was not just a distiller that learned in his backyard. Like, this guy was a chemical engineer. He went to school for this.
Absolutely.
Knew all the science behind it and everything.
Yeah.
And they explained that when just in the way that they char and toast the barrels.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like all the different colors of the whiskey that comes out of the barrel, depending on what char it is, even
how long it's been aged,
how
like
long
a
it's
whole
been
lot of
aged in
cool
the
stuff.
barrel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff in that. So, and they actually, I think Michter spent just a lot of time talking about what they do different than the industry standards, right? When it comes to how their barrel entry proof and
Exactly. Yeah. Where their barrel entry proof was 103, like across the board, right?
yeah, it was much lower where the industry standard's 125.
Yeah, that's the most you can put it in at, I think. And
Right.
So they do more of their, I don't want to say water proofing down before they put it in the barrel, so that you can get a lot more flavor out of it, less proofing when you get out. So
Right.
that was really neat.
You get more of the final spirit in the bottle.
Yeah.
You know.
So when they're talking about proofing, right, you take the alcohol and all distillers do it, right? They're adding water in to proof it down to a certain proof level. So again, Michter's difference is they're putting the water in before it goes into the barrel, so they're proofing down before they get in the barrel. With their thought process is that you've got that water, you've already proofed it down, and so that the extra water, all that is getting the flavors of the barrel. So when you take it out of the barrel, there's less. They're still having to do some proofing, but with other distillers, right, they're coming out of the barrel a lot hotter at a higher proof. So they're putting water in to proof it down, and that water hasn't had the opportunity to take the flavors from the barrel. So.
I mean, I think we would all agree if it was up to us, we'd never water anything down.
Right.
Whatever comes out of the barrel, that's the way I want it. You know.
Proof, baby. Get it straight out the barrel.
And again, everybody has.
But everybody does it.
Yeah. Everybody has their own flavor profile. Their proofing. Michter's to me has some really good flavors, but it's that proofing down
for sure.
keeping down of their proof that it's just not probably overall for me, right? I mean, when you come down to the different whiskeys we tasted, Michter's 10-year, I would buy it. We kept going back afterwards because they dropped that throughout the day. Occasionally.
Never could
in the
catch
gift
a
shop.
bottle.
No, we couldn't catch a bottle.
bit.
But hey, like if you guys are going up there anytime soon and you're dead set on getting a Michter's 10-year, like this year's release, what did they say? Like get there between 1 and 3.
Yeah, that's when they usually put their stuff
This is
out.
when they're putting their stuff out. And we went back one day and they had this toasted sour mash, and man, I tried this last year at their bar and I loved it. So I picked this one up. But
you got a little combo pack of that and the single barrel rye.
yeah, I think it's sitting back there as well. Back there as well, but. Man, I think what we love, to your point, I'm right there with you though. Like Michter's does do their stuff at a lot lower proof. Like I think this is 86. All the stuff up there is I think 86 proof. I think that American whiskey right there is 83 proof. The stuff that we loved though was barrel strength coming out of there.
That barrel proof rye that they had. So
that was excellent.
The tasting itself, we got 7 tastings. We got the U.S. one, I think the blue label up here.
Yep, they did we had the bourbon as well.
We had the bourbon. We had the Shanks brand, which was like one of their like kind of legacy brands, like from way back in the day. We had the Bombergers.
It was one of my favorites.
Another one of those older ones. Yeah, that was definitely one of our top 3, I think, for sure.
And that one was 103 proof. Yeah, I mean, it carried a lot of flavor with it. It carried a lot of some of those notes that we love, just the maple and the honey coming through on the palate there.
Yeah, and I think it was a little bit higher proof than like the rest of their kind of
it came in at 103.
That's right, that's what it was. And then we did the 10-year bourbon, and then their barrel proof rye. I'm probably missing something in there, but I don't want to.
Oh man, we'll put it up here so you guys can see it.
Yeah. But when we do put it up there, focus on that bottom row right there. That bottom row was like our top 3, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bombergers,
10-year, and the barrel proof rye.
Yep, for sure.
So good. All 3 of those were really, really good offerings.
Yeah.
Man, that 10-year, that came in at 108 proof, which is about where we like it. We like it between about 107 to 110 there.
Yeah,
but
it's a real sweet spot for us.
But
that's great.
when you again, by trade, I'm an accountant, so I'll kind of look at the value, right? We got a tour, and then we got 7 tastings, and it was all, was it $25 a person, right?
If we would have just went to the bar, we would have spent that on 2 pours.
So again,
not to mention free gift on the way out. Got a nice little Michter's rocks glass.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was really cool. I got mine up on my bar now.
Yeah. And we have bottles of Michter, so it's not not hating on Michters.
Yeah.
It's again, as distilleries, not at the top as far as the number of bottles we have.
Yeah.
Again, from a tour perspective, I'd recommend that you go.
Yeah.
Like I said, you get a lot for the money. We didn't end up and go up to the bar because we had to get to Peerless. We had some other things to do. We went there last year. Their bar is outstanding. I would highly recommend going up to their bar as well. So again, I mean that's.
Can I give Forrest some last minute work? All right, pros right here. He's going to put them right here. Pros.
Sure. I gotcha.
Pros. The tour. Everybody there was super friendly. We had a great time. It is all indoors, air conditioning, and very small area. So if you're tired and it's towards the end of the day, you don't want to walk around a whole bunch. They don't make you do that.
Yep. It was very informative.
Very informative.
Yeah, very informative.
Super informative. Got really down into the nitty-gritty of the science, which I'm going to also go over here. If you are tired of the science, it gets really in the weeds on it, and they did start losing me at a certain point because we drilled down deep.
Like I said, that guy was a chemical engineer. I mean, he was basically spouting his dissertation out there on us.
Was a nerd in like a really good way, but lost me at a certain point because we were tired.
But hey, that's the guy we want making the whiskey, though.
I want that guy on that wall, and I want him there. And so, a little in the weeds, and the tasting was really good as far as some of the offerings go. I think 3 out of 7 were probably pretty good. There was 4 that kind of got lost in the fray. But man, other than that, I can't think of anything else wrong with it. I mean, we had a great time.
You got to stand right there at the vats with the mash in there, right? You got to. I mean,
that was super cool.
Stick your head in there and see what's going on. They were in 3 different stages, so you got to see the 3 different stages of the mash. Yeah. Like I thought from again, the year before we went to Old Forester, got a similar deal at Old Forester. Got to get our head in the mash there. So again, I definitely would recommend that as a tour.
Yeah.
For sure.
Great central location, great value.
Man, and even as I'm sipping on this now, right? Like I agree with you. It's like Michter's is not my favorite distiller by any means, but I will say what I love about what I'm sipping on right now, as far as this, like I'm getting everything I remember from a year ago when I had this.
Yeah.
It's very marshmallowy on the front, on the nose. I mean, you get a little bit of sugar there, and it being at 86 proof, you do get a lot of flavor and not a ton of oak at the end.
Yeah.
Which honestly makes Michter's, I don't want to say it's like a beginner bourbon, but if you're just getting into whiskey, you're just getting into bourbon, this is very friendly to all those that.
It's approachable.
Yes, it's approachable.
Very approachable.
It's very approachable.
And you like a good toasted finish.
I do like a toasted finish.
This is super nice.
And
I do like a toasted finish.
If you like that lower proof, I mean, Michter's is really good. right. And again, it's not that we're
You get a
right
lot
or
of flavor
wrong.
for the low proof. Yeah.
Exactly,
We
yeah.
just
Yeah.
enjoy the higher proof stuff, and there's you'll see some other videos right with the distillers that we really like at the higher proofs. But again, if you're into the lower proofs,
Oh, what a politician way to say it.
oh, okay, Heaven Hill is at the top for us, right?
There we
But-
go.
But if you're
just
into
get it
lower
out there.
proof stuff, right? The flavors the flavors are good there. But
Yeah.
again, most of my, if you said why I'm rated lower, is
Yeah.
it just doesn't have that kick. I enjoy a kick at the end, and this, I mean, it's smooth, great flavors, just not a kick.
It's the flavor's even, and just
Yeah.
knowing what we like to drink, we like that punch.
Yeah.
We like to
Yeah.
get hit in the mouth with it immediately.
I mean, look at my
So-
face. You can tell I've enjoyed a punch in the face before, right? So, yeah.
Well, also, if I can get really deep in the weeds in the science real quick, I think part of the thing is they do their proofing down on the front end, so you get a lot more flavor and you don't get as thinned out,
Right.
even with a
That's good.
lower
Yeah.
proof because it's coming out of the barrel
Yeah.
already, pre-proofed down. It's great. It's good stuff. It's okay, great.
It's okay. This is
This
good.
bottle's great.
That was
This
good.
is this bottle's great.
Get this bottle immediately.
I haven't that rye up there isn't open yet.
That's
So
the
I
single barrel rye.
the single barrel rye. I'm sure that's good, but
The
I wasn't
sour
wasn't
mash
crazy
is
about
good.
the sour mash.
I mean, it's
you
good,
know?
right?
Wasn't crazy. Really wasn't crazy about that the American whiskey back there. I mean, both of them are sitting in my bar cart, but you know.
Hey, we need to wrap this up because
Yeah, we
I
do.
feel way longer than that tour deserved. It was a great tour. We had a good time. If you're looking for a fun little change of pace, or it's late in the day, you're wanting to chill out, relax, and just listen to people really get into bourbon,
For sure.
you are going to
For
love
sure.
it. We had a great time there. We got a couple others coming up. We're going to go through like I said, the rest of the bourbon adventure up there in Kentucky.
A lot of exciting stuff coming up. It only gets better from here.
Oh man,
Yeah, it really only gets
Yeah.
better from here.
Absolutely.
it's own choice. And so, as always,
Like and subscribe.
like and subscribe, smash that subscribe button.
We'll
Drink
see.
responsibly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.